Many of you have probably heard about or know about the Ice Age Columbus theory. And I call it a theory because, yes, they've established that there were Caucasoid people in the New World before um, the what gets called the Native American from the so-called Mongoloid people, from the people from central Siberia and Mongolia and outer China. Not really China, but people always say China. Um, the Native American look that is today, the what's called red skin, the eyes, the facial features, the bone structure of Native Americans, the typical, stereotypical Native American. But yeah, they found these Caucasoid bones, which again, people say white, but it actually stretches from India to Ireland, the Aryan or Caucasoid or Caucasian look. Um, and they've shown this in the United States, and they've found these skulls in Canada, and it's not just along the East Coast in Virginia. It's also in places like Nevada, California, northern Mexico, New Mexico, um, Washington State, all along the Pacific Ocean going up, and it's hard for them. I mean, they've got about 6 skulls dating back between 12,000 and 950 100 years. So, say 12,000 and 9,000. And they also know that there was an Australian Aboriginal people in northern um, Argentina. But people say the Ice Age Columbus as if that's the only place that they could have came from. But we know that the indigenous people of Japan, before the ethnic Japanese took over, were Caucasoid, or Aryan, if you want to say, um, white people, as ignorance would say. But they're still. I mean, Hokkaido, Japan, was in the north, was they have always been there, but they were the entire island. The ethnic Japanese came from Okinawa. I had a Japanese teacher in a Japanese history class 12 years ago, and he even told me this. It's where I first heard it. There's only 300 pure, I forget what they're called. I don't want to say Inuit because that's Eskimo, but I forget the name of this tribe. There's only 300 non-intermixed of them left, and they're Caucasoid. In China, they found skulls. The oldest skulls they find are Caucasoid. So it probably wasn't coming from Europe. It probably came the other way with the people coming across the Bering Strait in boats. The land bridge idea is foolish, and does that diminish Native American history? No, because obviously there was an influx of a more greater migration, and they mixed in. Um, it's like saying people from northern Italy aren't really northern Italian because they have a lot of Germanic blood from the Lombards. Well, they're a mix of the Lombards and the Latins that were there, and previously Etruscan people, which I think probably would get called um, Latin by just way of speaking of them. Same thing with Sicily and the Greeks. Sicily used to be Greek. Now it's Greek and Latin. Anatolia, many of those people still have Greek blood in them, but they're mixed with Turkic blood. So it's silly when people make it a race issue. The Caucasoid people originally stretched farther than India into places like China, Mongolia, more north than that. And now we find out all the way to the Americas. And they've also found skulls in Brazil. Um, People try to say, oh, the Celts came over, the Celts were there, and that's what built the civilization. Um, Maybe the Celts had contact with them. Celts were a seafaring people, they weren't just on land. But it probably was earlier. It probably was, you know, thousands of years ago. And I think that's a great thing to find out. It's same with the fact that there's us, that some of the people who are, what if you want to call Mesoamerican or Southern Native American looking, have astral, Australian Aboriginal culture with them. They bear no resemblance, but they kept the culture from thousands of years ago. And many links can be made between general Aryan culture, because remember the Aryans shared the same language, religion, and culture, at least from India to Europe. So many of that's in the Native Americans. Does it diminish them? No. They're unique. Does it make them white or European? No. Does it mean their ancestors would call them white or European? No. They were Caucasoid, Aryan looking. We don't know what skin color they had. But yeah, the Caucasoid people were here first. Does that justify conquest and brutality and all this stuff? That it was our land originally? No, because, yeah, and there probably was no Ice Age Columbus. They probably came the other route. All right, peace to you.